at Circle Rehearsal Studios. If you could, please tell the viewers who you are, who you're with, and what you do.
My name is Jason Swartzwalder. This is Paul Lima. We're with Deadlift, and we play heavy fucking metal. Is pretty much what we do.
Yeah. All right. So first question: how long has Deadlift been established?
Established? A little less than a year. I think we started our first
we're a baby.
We had like a night with Deadlift at Insomniacs back in September of last year. Our first actual gig was with Burning Fair Verona and Falls Upon Us, and I can't remember the name of the other band. It was some death metal band. Anyway, in like December.
Nice.
So
It was cool. It was our first show.
So how many shows have you guys had in that time?
It's like 8.
yeah, about 8 shows. Yeah.
8.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we're a baby. We're fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So how often does the lineup change? I know you guys have replaced a few.
So far it has, yes. We're trying to find the right connection. And we're trying to find the right bond, the right people. We're just not going to take anyone. We don't want to look like fools.
Right.
It's going to take time, but...
So is the bassist the only ones you've replaced?
And singing.
Well, now we're actually actively looking for a new singer. Before that, we didn't have a singer. We were just kind of the three of us, the drummer, the 2 guitar players, and we were just basically jamming covers and shit, and for a little while until we started writing our own shit, and then we decided we want to try to find more people. And since we've been doing that, we've been heading forward in a pretty good speed.
Yeah, we're doing that for a couple times.
So aside from metal, what other genres are you guys influenced by?
Classical, flamenco, and rock, and a little blues.
Who would you say is your favorite blues
Blues?
musician?
No clue. I just like the style.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of like an airhead. I'll just whatever.
So have you guys spent any time in the studio recording?
Yeah, actually, we have 5 tracks that we're doing demo tracks. We have 5 tracks that so far have guitars, drums, and had vocals, but we're going to rip the vocals off because obviously we're not going to go with that singer. So yeah, we're in the process of recording that and writing new songs. I think we decided to write a few new songs and get a singer, get solid, and then just record them all at one time. And it's kind of on hold. We started recording back in January before he left. He went to New Jersey for a couple months to work, and we got his tracks and the drummer's tracks done like right before he left. And I got put my tracks on, brought the singer out, did that, and we didn't have a bass. We had a bass player at the time, but he wasn't really material as far as our skill level goes. And I don't mean that in like any dick way, but just
he
couldn't keep up. Yeah. He had personal issues that were holding him back from being able to practice all the time and get better or whatever. So, didn't really get bass done either. But yeah, we're working on something because we really feel like if we get something out there, people will really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just keep on playing. We're just gonna keep going. Whatever. Don't have a bass player tonight. Whatever.
Yeah.
If our singer walked down on us. Whatever.
Yeah,
We're just gonna keep going.
We're gonna keep jamming.
Hopefully,
Man.
people will start liking us and come to our shows, and let's make it awesome.
So will Snuff and or Pirate be featured on the EP?
Oh, absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
Where did the concept for Snuff come from?
Where did the concept come for Snuff? Musically? Well, I mean, like instrumentally or lyrically? Both. All right. Well, I'll take the go.
Music was Slayer.
Pretty much.
I was listening to Slayer, and I was like, I want something like that, and then kind of revolved, with Slayer type riff, and then it just, we have our own style into it. So.
Built the song around that.
Right. And then this guy came with the lyrics, and just everything just was like meshed so well.
Dude, you're eating an apple. This is a fucking metal interview.
It's good.
So yeah,
Right, kids.
Lyrically, I was right. I'm a dark person, and I was thinking about a snuff film. Like just the emotions and the trials and tribulations that a person that is in that place willingly has to be at. So I don't know. I kind of sat down and I basically wrote a poem at first. It was just like most of the words that are in the song now, and then we wrote that riff. And then we started putting our little dual touch to it and everything, and then we started putting more like solid riffs to it, and I was like, holy shit, it clicked in my head, and I changed just a few things, and I wrote 1 or 2 new things, and that was it, and it was done. And,
When composing, what would you say is your biggest influence?
Like a lot of Iron Maiden, a lot of Megadeth,
Megadeth,
Metallica, just and then the other influences from everywhere.
Yeah, like individual stuff. Like you were saying he's my favorite blues guitar player earlier, and I say Jimmy Page, even though he wasn't just strictly a blues guitar player, but that was his deal. You know, like he was heavily influenced by the blues. So that's my answer to that question. But Led Zeppelin is one of mine that I always like to have something bluesy in there. Like even Metallica, if you break some of their riffs down, they're very bluesy, and it's just the way that they palm muted this, or the way that they did this lick or something. You know what I mean? Like you can take basically blues and classical for us, and then thrash, and that's pretty much where everything comes from.
A lot of experimental stuff. You sit there and just jam. One day make a mistake, and he'd be over here, and he'd be like, "Wow, that sounded pretty good." You know, so it's all trial and error too. And whatever we like, you know, whatever we think is gonna make people headbang and come out and enjoy it, you know.
And marijuana.
Oh, yeah. That's a boost.
That's one of our influences. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
It's good for you, just like the apple. Get high, eat an apple.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any side projects, or is Deadlift your sole?
That's my main thing.
Yeah,
Hopefully
right now.
this train will take off, and hopefully we'll be on it. And that's it.
So when did you know for sure that you wanted to be a musician?
Oh, me? Early on, just watching. I was growing up. I had an older brother, and he got a guitar and was jamming. He taught me some stuff when I was like 14, and it was great. And I just ever since then taught myself, and having no lessons, nothing. So it's a great thing.
Yeah, I was a jock all the way up till I was like 17 years old. I'd gotten a guitar for my Christmas when I was 17. And I had like scholarships to play college football and shit, and I blew it because I made a sexual comment about one of my teachers at the beginning of my senior year. Yeah, I said I'd do her in the booty hole. Like, yeah, I know.
Is that a quote?
Listen, yeah, because I went to South Carolina High School in Austell, Georgia, and they had this like American Idol type deal, and like some students got on stage and did stuff, and fucking the teachers got up there and did this dance and shit, and one of them was this cheerleading coach, and I made a comment about her in one of the classes, and it got me kicked out of school, lost my scholarship and everything. But the reason I was telling that is because I kind of hit rock bottom after that, and actually ended up getting into doing some drugs and getting arrested for some shit that I just recently got off probation for. But when I got out of jail, like I was not the kind of person that would steal things from people. I'm not that kind of person. So I reflected hard on myself, and I had decided that I love music and I wanted to learn how to play guitar, and I, as well as this guy, taught myself how to play. I took one lesson for one semester at St. Petersburg College from a guy, Eddie Lugo, who does his master's in classical performance. That's pretty much it. Music moves me. It makes me feel good. It helps me to release tension. It helps me to direct my life. And I mean, I have a job where I make food and burritos, but I do it so that I can.
You make people happy in 2 different ways.
Damn right.
All right, so
Put my burrito in your mouth.
So in your opinion, what would you say is the biggest obstacle for local bands or musicians, period?
I think from what I've seen from what live gigs we went to, it's getting people out to the show.
Yeah.
It's getting people to come out and getting them to want to come out and have a good time. It's like, I mean, all these places that we've played, they're places where you can obviously pack a lot of people, and they obviously have. It's just like, where's everybody at? And you know, the internet helps, but that's my biggest thing is getting people out.
Just gotta come out,
Yeah.
have fun.
Absolutely.
We like to party, so we'll party with you.
I mean, we've made connections in the industry in less than a year. Like Chris Barnes, the original lead singer of Cannibal Corpse, is a friend of mine, and
He's a dick.
it's a cool dude to me, man.
All right, cool.
Very cool dude. I was actually recording my tracks over at Atomic Studios in Tampa, which is where 6 Feet Under rehearses at. And he came walking through, and he walked into the sound booth to say hi to the sound engineer, because the guy owns the whole building and everything. And he's like, "Good tunes, brother." And I was like, starstruck, you know, it's fucking Chris Barnes, like the godfather of death metal, you know. And I chased him outside afterwards. I was like, "Hey man, you like what you heard?" He's like, yeah, bro." He's like, usually in the first 3 seconds if something sounds good. And he's like, "And your music perked my ears up on a Sunday morning." I was like,
Very nice.
right. So I was like, let me get your number, and we exchanged numbers and shit, and everything's. He's gonna try to help us out when we get an EP. Lay it across Brian Slagle's desk. I mean, it's not that easy, but for somebody like him, it could be. I feel like.
All right. Well, I'm Madalena, aka Madalena, and this is.
Deadlift.
Hi guys.